Good morning, brother and sister. Today I want to share a topic about our God, okay? Our just of God, the furious about our God. eh. Basically, we are talking about how to serve our God, the attitude that we need to have to serve our God. Why? Okay? Because we very often talk about our God is very loving, our God is full of love, okay? God loved the world, something like that. But we are less talk about our God is very just. Our God is furious. Our God have a very high standard. Our God don't play. Our God is very serious. Okay? We not very often we talk about this part of our God. But when we come to serving our God, He's our boss. He is our big boss. Okay? During the time that He love us, we can call Him Father. Okay? But when He is furious, He is our God, the God who created the whole earth. We are just speck of dust. But we are His servant, His children. So He have His own standard. Yeah. So today we will talk about our God. How high is the standard? Okay. Well, now we will look into this, the story of Joshua, Moses. Okay. During this Joshua time, God said, wherever that you walk, okay, I will claim the land to you, the Israel people. I mean, wherever that Joshua stepped foot on, that place is belong to the Canaan land. So Joshua have to go and claim the Canaan land. Although this land is given to them, they still have to go and claim it. This is during Joshua time, God has told him to do so. During the time where Joshua is very old, Joshua is almost dying. Our God speak to Joshua and he said, you are so old already. Yet so many places are unclaimed. So many places you haven't walked. There are about 50%, yeah, of the Canaan land still not taken back. So this is our God. Yeah. He didn't go, you're so old already, you've done a good job, now you can retire already, pass the baton to your next generation. No, go there. You are so old and you haven't claimed 50% of the land. This is how strict is our God. The standard is very high. And our God is also very strict to his own people, especially his leaders. Yeah. For example, our story of this Moses. Moses is a most humble man. He bring the Israel people out from Egypt. Many times, this Egypt people don't want to let Israel go, and this Moses somehow managed. Okay, after the 10 plague, this Moses successfully bring these people out. Okay, then he go for this Red Sea, parting of the Red Sea. All for all these troubles, all the Israel people still not happy, and still complaining. And until one time, this Moses is mad with them, and very clearly, God said this to Moses. He said, "Go and talk to the stone." But Moses don't listen. Moses is so mad that time. Okay, he take his stick and knock on the stone, to bring out the water for the Israel people to drink. So that is the time. Okay, when this happened, God is so mad with Moses. Because of this, you cannot go into the promised land. You can only see from far. Okay, look at the promised land from a mountain because you have done something wrong. Okay, you have been angry. Okay, because of that, you are not allowed to go in to the Canaan land. This is what happened to Moses during his time. So as we can see, God is very strict, okay? And he is also a very demanding boss. Why? Okay? Because there is one time, okay, when God asked Noah to build his ark, so to save all the animals, okay, and his family. That is the time when God asked Noah to build the ark. God don't provide any money. God don't provide any resources. God just asked Noah, you build the ark. I want the ark to be this size, okay, 3 level, okay, and you have to follow the exact measurement, okay, so that this ark will survive through the big storm, okay, big flood. So Noah spent 120 years build the ark with his own resources. After he built his own resources, okay, this Noah ark have been used one time only. One time. So when the flood have settled down, okay, the flood had gone. So the God let this ark parking, okay, on the mountain of Ararat. So when the ark is parking on the mountain of Ararat, it stuck there, it cannot move already. Okay. So I don't understand why God don't let the ark parking at somewhere near the beach there, okay, seaside, When Noah is boring, still can bring his family, go for vacation. No. Noah ark meant to be used one time only. And that is the only time. It saved them, 8 people from the flood, and that's it. The ark cannot be used anymore and put there. And from there, we can see that God is very strict and very demanding. Okay? Because of Noah obedient to the God, he used his own money and resources to build the ark. And after the flood, the all the everything left over in the earth is belong to the Noah family. This is how we can see this Noah actually pay off, okay, his how to say, all the resources that he spent on build the ark. At the end, after the flood, he get everything back because the whole world is belong to him. Okay? Whole world is belong to him and his children. This is how God works. God don't tell you first. You have to obey and you do it. Okay? And we can also see that this God, okay, is have a clear purpose and goal. He don't play one. He set his purpose, he set his goal, he do it one time and that's it. You have to follow it. There is one time when I go to Mountain Murut, I refuse to share his testimony, okay, so that some of the fellow brothers, okay, brother and sister, come to my room, okay, they join us, have a fellowship, they take turn to share the testimony. We sit there, we listen about 1.5 hour, 2 hour, a very long time. But during the end of the session, it turned to me, do you have anything to share? Yeah? But I told them, I have nothing to share. We have listened enough. I think that is good enough for all of you. So after I say that, they all go back. I have a very terrible sickness. Okay, I feel very dizzy. So everything is shaking, everything is moving. I cannot even concentrate. I cannot even go to pray. I cannot go to church. I suffer so much. I feel like I want to keep on vomiting. Cannot eat anything. So during that time, okay, I repent to God. Okay, God, I know I'm do something wrong. Okay, now I go and find them, and I talk to the pastor tomorrow can you guys give me 1 hour time? I need to spend some time to tell you guys about this testimony. If not, I I will suffer so much because of the disobedient. Huh? So I asked them to give me a chance, okay, to correct my wrong. So after that, then I go back and share the testimony to them. The sickness gone, directly gone. No need prayer, no need medication, all everything done. So this is how God first force you to do something. Okay? He set a goal, set a purpose for this testimony. When the time is there, okay, when the time is right, you don't want to do it, God will force you to do it. Because this testimony is an answer of a prayer of a one young man. Because of his prayer need to be answered. So I have to share the testimony so that the prayer is answered. This is how God so demanding. Okay? Okay? He set a goal, you must fulfill it. If not, God will be very mad at you. It will make you suffer. Okay? So this is my experience with my boss. And he is also a very strict boss. Why? Because as we can see in the Bible story, Israel people they spent 30 years at the wilderness because of disobedience, because they complain, because they don't listen. Right? It's a journey of 3 day journey only. They spent 30 years at the wilderness there. So they spend so many time wasting because they don't obey and they don't listen. They keep on complaining. Okay? And we can see because of the disobedience of the Israel people lost their temper. God don't even save his own temple. Because this temple is belong to me, because this temple worship me. If I don't protect this temple, my name will be lost. No, God don't do that. Because our God is so big, he's not inside the restraint of space and time. Temple is just a place, mimic of the temple that at the heaven. Even the small mimic is gone, the temple at the heaven is still there. So we can see through the history, these Israel people lost their temple and lost their nation because of disobedience. These are the chosen people of God. If Israel don't behave, God will use other nation to punish Israel. If other nation do not behave, God will use Israel people to go and punish the other nation. This is our God. No one is special. So in front of God, whether you are big or small, you better behave. You better do something that God like you. If not, God will be very mad at you. Okay. Now we look at the other side. Now we keep on talking about how our God is, how strict, okay, how purposeful, he very demanding, he's very high standard, he do his thing right on time. This is our God. Now we want to look at the other part, okay. As a Christian, to serve our God, we need to bear fruit. If you don't bear any fruit, you'll be cut. Okay? According to the Bible, okay, in the Jesus parable, Jesus uh, described himself as a grape tree. Okay? And God the Father is the farmer. Jesus is the grape tree, and we as a Christian, we are the branches, the small branch. In the Bible, in the parable, those branch that doesn't bear fruit will be cut and thrown into the fire. Okay, it's not cut and throw on the ground, cut and throw into the fire. In that aspect, we can see that when you throw inside the fire, that means you throw inside hell. That means that is the second death. You have no more chance to coming back. If you are not bearing any fruits, you'll be thrown into hell. Okay? This is what parable said. That's why we have to be very careful. Me as a farmer, I plant veggie, okay, this lombina, timona, from the ground up, okay, from the ground up 3 feet, okay, we we have to cut all the small leaf, so that this small leaf that don't bear fruit, you cut it, and the the fruit that grow beyond the 3 feet, that is the branches that will bear fruit. Because if the branches that below the 3 feet, it don't bear fruit, and it still, how to say, it still eat up all the nutrient, and don't produce any fruit, and it will bring disease to the tree. That's why we have to cut it. Okay, so we cut it to protect the tree and protect the resources. Okay? We want to keep this tree healthy. We don't want any sickness or any disease from the ground spread to this tree. That's why we have to cut. You cannot cyan the branches. If you cyan the branches, the whole tree will suffer from it. That's why when you reach out to the top part, okay, when we have a vertical and a horizontal part, when you reach out to the horizontal, we also need to do some pruning also. Why? Because after the branches have bear 1 or 2 fruit, some branches become old, and the old branches you have to cut it because they don't bear any fruit. If you let them be, it will eat up the new nutrient and don't bear any fruit. It will waste of resources. That's why we have to cut it. So in this context, bring to the Bible, if we are the branches, no matter you are the big branch or the small branch, you bear big fruit or the small fruit, as long as you bear fruit, you are safe. As we can see, some of the branches in the beginning they bear fruit. Then after some time they don't bear any fruit. You don't think you are safe, because those branches that don't bear fruit will be cut off, even though last time you bear before. But now you don't bear, you have to be cut. Because in the biblical sense, the biggest hindrance, okay, of the gospel is the false Christian. Those false Christians claim to be Christian, but yet they don't bear any fruit, they don't show the right attitude of a Christian. They didn't show in their life they are changed person. They still do a very sinful stuff, sinful manner. They still commit adulteries. They still do bribery in their business. They step on their workers and don't give them salary. This kind of thing is actually happen in our society, in our neighbors, in our communities. Those people that don't bear fruit, okay, bring shame to Christianity. They become the biggest hindrance of people believing in Christian. That's why we have to cut them. That's why God will not hesitate to cut them, no matter big or small. Some people have their gift, have their calling. Some people they have a big calling of evangelist. They become a pastor. They become a teacher, these people become a deacon or the church leaders, elders, and these people who bear big fruit, okay, they contribute to the church, they contribute to the Christianity, and they contribute to our Jesus Christ, and they are the big fruit. But some, okay, people, they are small branches bear small fruit. Okay, those people, they are not very good in evangelize or public speaking, but they can cook, okay, they can take care of the children, okay, in their daily life, okay. They give a good example, they live a good life, they help the poor, they help the needy, they're always kind to others people. These are the small fruit, these are the small fruit. So this small fruit also fruit. As long as you bear fruit, you are safe. Don't matter big or small. As long as you bear fruit, this is the thing that you must remember. As a Christian, our boss is very strict. You better behave. So this is a sharing that I'm gonna share today. I will stop here. Okay. Please remember to remember God and remember to bear fruit in your life. Thank you.